Hello and welcome to a brand new preview episode of Black on Black Cinema. I'm your host, Jay. I'm here with my co-host, Micah.
Hey.
And Tiara.
Hey.
All right, guys, we are back. This is a preview to episode 219, Master. This is on Amazon Prime, by the way, just recently released. I'll give the log line for this. Two African-American women begin to share disturbing experiences at a predominantly white college in New England. Look, this is starring Regina Hall, Zoe Renee, Julia Nightingale, and Talia Ryder. It's got a horror feel to it, which looks interesting to me. I haven't seen this yet. I don't think any of us have seen this yet. But we decided to do something maybe a little bit more serious before we go to episode 220, which is the one Micah was sort of previewing in the last episode. And I promise you, it's going to be a doozy. So, but this looks very good. Look, Regina Hall is getting, I feel like she's starting to finally get respect in like larger white Hollywood now. People are just like, oh, it turns out this Regina Hall woman is like actually pretty good, which is sad because black people have known that for the better part of like almost 2 decades, it feels like.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, this looks great. I'm very interested in this.
Regina Hall is in her 50s, by the way.
And is she really?
Wow. Yeah, she's like 51. She's like 50, 51. She's been acting forever, and she's finally getting non-comedic serious roles.
Right, because wasn't her first one like Scary Movie or whatever? Wasn't she?
Something like that.
Yeah.
I think that was like one of the big breaks she had.
Yeah, that was like the Scream parody or whatever. Yeah, because I remember when she first started doing dramatic stuff, I was like, oh, okay, that's weird. Because she only did like comedy stuff, but she's also hilarious. Like, so it's kind of cool to see her doing all over the place kind of stuff. But this has like, sort of horror social commentary vibes, which I'm all about. I love that. So yeah, check out Master on Amazon Prime for episode 219. Look, random topic this week, pretty interestingly random. I had jury duty the other day, and I thought I would come and talk about my trial. It was a murder trial. And for some reason, I keep getting picked for murder trials or attempted murder trials in Baltimore. I wonder why. And just sort of talk about that experience of having to be on a jury and what the case was about. Because it does have to do with a black gentleman specifically. So the case was about a young black guy who ends up killing another black man who's about 10 years older than him at the time. And it's like, the story is fucked up because apparently the guy's like uncle or the guy who committed the murder, his uncle was killed a number of years earlier by this guy, supposedly.
Wait, say that again. The guy on trial's uncle was killed by the guy
that he killed.
Oh, okay.
Right. So the victim
was like a retribution.
Yeah, it was supposedly. I mean, obviously that guy killing his uncle has not been proven, right? Because he didn't do any jail time for it. But yeah, the talk is that this was a revenge killing, which is like fucked up. But the parts of the case that are really, and I won't go too deeply into it, but like the parts of the case that are really fucked up is like this guy, the guy who was on trial for murder, like he had no relationship with his mom, right? Like his mom is the one who like he told that he did it, and then she went to the police, right? And was like, nah, my son did this shit, right? But he had like no relationship with his mom. Like his mom testified. He has a stepmom, like he has no relationship with her either. Like apparently he told her about this, and like she also like, kind of reported to the cops the same thing. And like it felt like, and this guy's dad is like incarcerated and shit. And it just felt like the system had failed this guy at like every avenue. And it's just like you sort of watch like his mom testify and his stepmom testify and stuff like that. It's like this guy was fucked. Like this guy's life is so fucked already before any of this happened. And like apparently the guy that he killed was also like kind of like terrorizing him. Like held him up, made him strip naked at one point. Like, so it was like, there's like a lot behind why he would do this, right? And then he had I guess he had an opportunity to get this guy back, and he did. But it's wild to then be on the jury with me and 4 other black dudes, and then all white folks, right? Because there's 12 jurors, and just listen to how people saw the case, because you're not allowed to talk about. I don't know if you guys have ever done jury duty, but
yeah, I have.
Yeah, you're not you're very lucky, especially you didn't get it while you lived in Baltimore, because apparently it's all fucking murders.
No, I when I did jury duty, it was in Baltimore. It was like a armed robbery and an attempted murder.
Again, like so, it's like we like to shoot niggas a lot. Like this is a thing we do. I think Baltimore has like 340 murders a year, which is crazy. But I mean. We're number one. Yeah. No thanks.
You can't have a 1.0 KDR in Baltimore, like for the year.
Yeah,
you can't have a 1.0 kill death ratio.
Yeah, it's not acceptable, yo. It's not.
You can't kill somebody once a day, every day. Somebody can't be murdered.
Yo, it's a crazy statistic, right? And so, and then, being on that jury with 4 other black dudes, and then everyone else is white, was really interesting, right? Because you could see, like, I could tell the other black dudes were like, everybody was kind of like going through it. Like, we're like, we need to go over this evidence again. Like you're like, yo, are we sure this dude actually did what they say he did? And what he said he did, right? Because then there was some sort of like weirdness there too. And did
he plead guilty or not?
No, he pleaded innocent.
Oh,
right. So it's just kind of like, if he had pled guilty,
then yeah,
we're done. We're done. Dude, why are we even here? Why'd you call me in? We're done.
You told us the story. I thought this guy pled guilty. I thought his mom knew it, you gotta. So, folks, just a little bit of context here. When Jay sent us this message about, he said he felt bad about having to condemn this black man, and I'm like, and that's it. And all I know is that this dude murdered somebody, and I'm like, well, nigga, what the fuck you feel bad about? Like, this dude murdered somebody. Like, if you did it, like, go to jail. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. But now that he's given us some context,
and
I understand.
I mean, it's because he was found guilty of first-degree murder in Maryland. That is life in prison without parole.
Ooh, how old was he?
25.
Oh no!
Right, this dude's not like 60. He's 25. Like it's actually like, even though you see the evidence laid out before you, and I would speak offline about some of the other stuff. I won't talk here, but even seeing the evidence and things like that, like, it actually feel like, when people think it is not a big deal for people to put people away, and there's you have to be a really, like, you have to have no scruples to have a little bit of a moment to go, I mean, this dude is guilty, but god damn, we're putting this dude in jail for the rest of his life at 25? Like, they could give him life with parole, but like, it really kind of is life without parole, because it is considered premeditated. By the way, you want to hear something fucked about the American justice system? You know how long it takes to be premeditated for a murder? Seconds.
How long?
Seconds.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Wow.
Yo, it's not like, he went home, thought about it for 4 days, and then came back, then that's premeditated. Nah, yo, like, non-premeditated murder is like, I pull out a gun, I shoot at you, you pull out your gun, you shoot back, and you kill me. That's not premeditated. That's reactive, right? Like, you're just like, oh shit, like, that's reactive. Like, you're like, because he told somebody, I finally got this guy. Immediately, that's premeditated.
Dang.
That's it. Yeah, that's
Because
it.
you clearly have been thinking about it more than fucking
Right.
1 second, dude. You've been thinking about it for a while. And he killed this guy's
So how did
uncle
the-
like years ago.
So how did
Supposedly.
the white people talk about the case?
That was interesting, right? So I would say that the vast majority of them were kind of like, yeah, this is like, they felt like they kind of felt the way about it, right? They were just like, everybody was like, I don't know, man, like this seems fucked up. And I think his age has a lot to do with it, right? Because they never mentioned what his age was. I didn't know that until after, like after the case, I looked it up. Because you're not really supposed to look up shit about the case ahead of time, right? Because they don't want you to be tainted or whatever. And I respect that. Like, I'm not, I mean, obviously you could, like, nobody's at my house checking my internet searches. But I didn't. But I can see him, right? So I'm like, yeah, I figured the dude's like mid-20s, right? Turns out I was exactly right. But I think his age really mattered. And I think people saw like, he doesn't have any relationship with his mom. His dad's incarcerated. Like, and like, to their credit, they were just kind of like, this is fucked up. Like, and there were a couple people who were just like, they didn't really want to hit him with the first degree murder, but it's like, the definition like is the definition, right? Like you can't just like pretend that it's not there. Like the evidence is just, it's overwhelming. Right. But there were a couple of white people who were just like, yeah, rock and roll. Let's get done, yo. This is obvious, yo. This is easy. And it's not like the information wasn't there, but there were certainly things to question, right? And this is one of those things where, as much as I hate getting jury duty summons, because I get them all the fucking time, and like I just be like, I ain't going. Nah, you going? I'll call and push it, right? It's actually really important that we go, because the less of us that there are, the more that people who are possibly innocent can get railroaded, dude. Like, the jury selection process was 4 hours, which I wanted to throw myself out of a fucking window as I sat there. Yeah. But it was 4 hours, and like quite literally, they bring you up and they're like, stand in front of the defendant and the state attorney, and they say like, yeah, you're good, you're good, and then they put your ass up there to be on the jury, and then they they decide, oh, I don't like this guy, fucking get his ass out of here, we'll replace it. And I could literally you could literally sit and watch them clearly counting how many black people they had on that jury. They were like, nah, yo, pick him. We don't have enough black people on here. Yeah. There were no black women on that jury, which was also really fucking disturbing to me. And it's not like the state was like, nah, get these black, because the state lawyer, like, he was kind of like, yeah, just like whatever. Like, let's, put whoever on. They were like, this case is fucking easy. You put anybody you want on there. But it's interesting. Like, if you are not there, it's like not voting. Like, if you are not there, then you leave space.
Somebody's gonna make the decision for you.
Right. You leave space for people to get fucking railroaded. In this case, the guy didn't get railroaded. The guy did the shit, right? Like, but it is like to have people on there to at least listen to the story and to understand his perspective is important. Like, it really is. Yep. So, yeah, I get it, man. You don't want to go to jury duty. I hear you. But much like voting, it fucking matters. It really matters, and you should take it seriously. You really should.
I've never complained about having to go to jury duty. The only time when I didn't like it was when I would get called when I was in college, and I wasn't in Maryland for college, so they would call me. They'd be like, "Well, you may have to come home and sit for a trial." I'm like,
"No, I'm in class."
Like, and fortunately, like the judges, they were like, "Yeah, just go back to school." But when I moved back to Maryland and I got called, I wanted to be picked for a case because I wanted to be one of those decision makers that's like, those people who want someone that's compassionate and is going to look at the context and be like, maybe this person doesn't deserve this harsh sentence. Because like you said, there are people there, like they were in your case, who were like, you did it, let's go home. And I'm like, well, I already know I'm going home, but this person may not. Yeah. So I know my decision, it matters, like in terms of like what happens to this person's life. And that's a big responsibility.
Yeah, I mean, it was interesting. Like, one woman who was on there, she was like, I don't want to be, what was the term she used? Like, I don't want to be anal about the details, right? And I said to her, I was like, nah, yo, this is the time to be anal about the details. This is someone's life.
Yeah.
No,
this is.
if we got to be, and we deliberated for like 6 hours. I mean, like that decision did not come fast, dude. People were like, nah,
6 hours is nothing compared to life in prison.
That's right. As much as I wanted to be home, like, you're right. 6 hours is nothing. Like, I'm good. I got access to a bathroom. I'm safe. There's cookies on the table. I'm good. Right? Like, these are life's essentials. And this person's life is like hanging in the balance. If we get this wrong, we have fucked someone's life forever.
Yep.
Right? And if you get it, if you get it wrong and you let the guy go and he wasn't supposed to go, he might kill somebody else. Yep. You don't know. You don't know. Could be you. Could be me. What the fuck? Like, you have no idea. So it's scary. Like, it's a scary thing to have somebody's life like in your hands in a way, right? Like, obviously I didn't force this guy to do what he did. And I don't feel like I did. But it is a terrifying responsibility, especially to hold the life of a black man in your hands like that. Like, that's fucking terrifying. Yeah. Like, I
think it's terrifying because you're a good person, right?
Yeah, of
like
course.
The stereotype is that you know, look, I much like a man questioning a potential Supreme Court justice. I've never been on jury duty, but I've seen people on TV. Right?
I've watched Law and Order from time to time.
I've watched Law and Order from time to time. You know, so I feel like I've got the Cliff Notes version of things. When you see all this stuff on TV, it's people never that's the point of it, right? Like there's always the person who's like, he's guilty, let's go, right? And then there's always the bleeding heart, and then there's always the person in the middle who's usually the point of view character, so that the audience can use them to see both sides of the situation. But it is an awesome responsibility, and I've never done it. I wouldn't mind doing it once just to do it, just to see what the experience is like. But yeah, and you know, to be the black voice, to be the black face on that jury, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, it's important
because it's you know, given the demographics of where we live, you know, there's a high probability that somebody that looks like us is going to be on trial. And like you said, I think that's very important. I 100% agree with you. I think it's very important that, much like voting, like, you need to represent. Yeah, man. God damn. Well, yeah, it's nice to get some context now. Thanks.
No, I don't. I like I ended the like TMP. I'll see you guys next week. I'll talk about my murder.
Right. What the fuck?
Yeah, it is really, I mean, what you realize is, like, that guy, for the sole reasons of not having parents like in his life actively, like, I could be that guy, right? Like, I mean, I'm not a murderer. I'd like to think not, but I don't have his life experience, right? And like, that guy's 25, dude. He's 25.
Yeah.
What the fuck was I doing at 25? Not a goddamn thing of note, I might add. Nothing. Dude.
I was still living at home.
Right. Dude, this dude killed this guy at 23. I was definitely still hanging out at my parents' house. The fuck? I was a loser. And to burden yourself with that level of commitment of something so serious that you feel that you could take someone's life at 23. Like, what does it say about his life that he could take someone's life and go, I couldn't get worse than this? Right? Like, my thing is,
I mean, if effectively ending,
it's crazy.
Effectively ending your life in a way.
Right. I mean, I guess I was talking to one of the other jurors. I said, you know, the best thing that he can hope for, the best thing, which is fucking weird to say, is that he has some relationship with his father if he's put in the same place. That's it.
Wait, did you mention that his father was in the prison too?
Yeah, his father's incarcerated. Yeah, I said it earlier. So no relationship with his mother. His mom comes and testifies. She is literally sitting 5 feet from him in the witness booth. She looks at him one time. She looks over at him. She looks back and she talks. She never looks at him again. It's the most heartbreaking shit I've ever seen in my entire life.
Could you two do that? If either of your children were put on trial for murder and you knew they did it, would you turn them in and would you testify against them?
If they did what this kid did, yeah, I would. I'd feel obligated to. You can't just kill people, yo. I'm not going to just pretend like that didn't happen. That's not right. I didn't raise you like that. I raised you.
Micah?
I mean, do you even have to ask that question? Like I didn't want to insult you, but like, what the fuck, yo? Like,
I mean,
don't betray me.
Like,
don't betray me.
yeah.
no,
I mean, you were
like,
quiet,
nah,
so I
yo.
was like, maybe,
yo,
maybe
like,
he's gonna
I'm
be
not-
like,
Micah just disconnects from the call, like, click.
No, if my son murdered somebody, I mean, look,
you'll help
it all
him get away.
depends.
I know. Mm-hmm.
It all depends, right? It all
Yeah, what are the
depends.
circumstances of this?
What are the circumstances, right? Like, if it was a fucking accident, then I'll call him a really good lawyer, and I'll be there to appeal.
Right.
But if he, if he does what I can't put myself into this case because I wouldn't be that. I no offense to that lady, I guess, but I wouldn't be that negligent of a parent. Like I wouldn't be out of the, like
You couldn't
it
be out of his
sounds
life like that.
I couldn't be out of his life like that. I couldn't.
Yeah.
Like it seems like this kid, life dealt him a fucked up hand.
It did.
And then, you get thrown into a system that's already putting you against the wall. Like you're already behind the 8 ball.
Yeah.
So it feels like he was destined for this.
Yeah.
I'm glad that he did. I'm glad that he's not being put to death at this point.
Yeah.
Like
I don't think
that's
Maryland
it.
has.
Like
the
I
death
used to
penalty.
be. I used to be a corporal punishment person, but like as I'm getting older, like the way my midlife crisis is set up, like I'm all about like trying to stay alive. I'm trying to be here. I don't want to die, and I don't want other people to die, and I don't want to see people suffer, even people I don't like. I see so many people on fucking Facebook praising the fact that Clarence Thomas is being hospitalized. Look, I don't like that nigga either, yo. But he don't need to die for shit to change. He needs to retire.
I would be fine with him retiring. That's fine. I just don't care if he does. That's my thing.
I don't care if he dies. I don't
care.
want him to die, yo. Like if it happens,
I don't want somebody to
fine.
suffer. I just don't care if he does.
If it happens, god damn. Look,
okay.
if it happens, it happens. But I'm not gonna be like, woohoo! You know what I mean?
I can't agree with that. I can't. I'm sorry. I can't. I think that guy's a piece of shit. But that's just me. Look, I'm a bit of a garbage person, and I'm okay with that.
Mike, I hear what you're saying, and in theory, maybe when I go through my own midlife crisis, I'll feel the same way.
I'm not there yet.
Because there are some people I'm like, because you were talking, I'm like, yeah, there are definitely some people, maybe some of them who were in that Supreme Court hearing, who I'm like, if something happens to them, I mean, I'm not gonna wish for it because wishes aren't real. But
there you go.
But something could happen, and I'll be sleeping well that night.
All I will say is that will I play Crab Rave on Look Forward? Yes. Do I care? No, I don't. That guy's not a
Get your crabs ready.
Yeah, that's right. So look, but I mean, I hear you. Like I'm not a capital punishment person or, putting people to death person. I don't think it does anything. You're just murdering people. Like it doesn't stop anybody from doing.
Right. It's government sanctioned murder. If after the first death penalty case went to fruition and someone else still committed crimes, then you don't need to do it anymore.
It don't work
because it's not a
we gonna kill you. Yeah, I know. I saw that. That's wild. Anyway, I'm gonna keep doing these crimes. So it doesn't actually work.
It's no longer a deterrent.
It just makes us feel good.
Right.
Yeah, you know what's really miserable? Sitting in jail for 50 years. That's it. Take away cable and put people in jail for 50. You don't. Guess what? You can go to jail and guess what you do all day? You break rocks. That's worse than the death penalty. Break rocks all day, then go sit in your cell, get lunch, get back out there. You tired? I'm good. Break more rocks. Good night. That's it. See you in the morning. Just break rocks, like a Bugs Bunny cartoon. That's miserable. Killing people, that just makes us feel good. It don't do nothing. So, and it just makes us apart, like it just makes us copy what they did, which is why you put them to death anyway. It's fucking stupid. So, look, ultimately, the big issue is like it's really hard to sit and be a part of that. But the other thing is, a thing I noticed that was really fucking sad is nobody came to his trial. No family.
Aww.
Nobody came. I mean, his father's incarcerated, obviously. His mom testified, but she not sitting in the gallery afterwards. Right? She testified, she fucking left. Stepmom testified against him, she fucking bounced after that. There's nobody there for him. Everybody there, from what I could discern, were family members of the victim.
Dang.
Nobody came.
Did that make the other jurors more sympathetic?
No, I don't think so. I don't think so. I mean, the victim didn't seem like a particularly good guy either, right? So people kind of were like, I mean, whatever. But like we got to watch the video, like the camera footage from the cop, like when he gets on the scene. So we're like, oh, there's the dead guy, and it's like fucking in HD. By the way, don't listen to fucking Baltimore City cops saying that, oh, we don't have footage. Nigga, that camera footage was HD as fuck. Get out of here. It was clear as day. Not buying it. If they don't have camera footage, it's because they don't turn their cameras on. It's horseshit. But like seeing that and then like fucking close up pictures of the bullet wounds and stuff, it's like, all right. Like it's a lot. It's a lot. But murder is not a fucking small thing, man. It's not. And watching people, even though they commit murders and things like that, having to put them away, especially that young, it doesn't feel good. And as a black man, it didn't feel like a betrayal. I won't use that word because he did it, right? Like you can't, I'm not just going to let you go just because we got the same skin tone. That's not enough. But it felt hard, right? It felt hard. Like you definitely think to yourself, am I doing the best thing by him? Could I do anything else by him that would help him? And sadly, there isn't. And that's where you get to see the system's failure of someone like that and the parental failures of someone like that. And you get to see it in real time.
Yeah.
Like he wasn't even upset. Like he didn't cry. He didn't do anything when the fucking verdict came down. Like he already knew this was likely.
Like he knew. He accepted it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, that's a heavy fucking charge to say you're getting first degree murder. Like, and you hearing this shit at 25. You're not hearing it at 75 where you're like, well, got only a couple more years of this shit. Like, nah, yo, this is the beginning of your life. So it's a heavy situation, man. And I don't wish it on anybody. I really don't. But we do need to be there. We need to be, representative of the voices in that room. We have to be. Even if we have to do things like that, we have to be. Yeah.
I would say if you get caught for jury duty, go. And if you get caught to a trial, go.
Oh no, if you get caught for a trial, that ain't no question. You get caught for a trial. It starts right. Yo, they were like, all right, you guys are the people. Everybody else leave. Trial starts right then. You don't even get a break. Starts right then. It's like, but it's 3:30. I want to go home. And they were like, that's cool. You got another hour. So
were you the foreman? Were you the foreman?
No,
Did you
thank
get to
God I was
stand
not.
up and-
No.
Okay. All right.
Wait, and Mikey, you said that you've never served on a trial.
Never. I've never been called for jury duty.
Yo, that's bullshit.
I guess all that
Are you
not
sure you
voting
never
really
been called for
played
jury
off,
duty? Or have you
right?
been ignoring-
I can't believe people
Have you been
believe
ignoring
that.
your summons?
No, I've never been
Mikey,
called.
there's money involved. You get like $10.
Okay. 10 whole
15.
dollars?
15 in Baltimore
Oh,
City. man.
15.
Oh.
15.
Yeah, that's right.
Man.
Use that shit for parking.
Yeah.
Right.
Nah, yo, I got went and got myself a delicious pita during lunchtime. It was $11. So that and some
Which
M&Ms.
courthouse were you at? Which courthouse were you at?
This is the one downtown.
Just all right.
Yeah.
All right.
There's only really, I mean, there's one across the street from the other. They're all connected. Is also
Right. I wouldn't want to go. I wouldn't want to go to. Yeah. I'm glad I don't live in Baltimore no more because I don't like going downtown Baltimore anymore.
Yeah.
Wow.
I hear you.
Yeah, don't like
No,
going down
nigga, you ain't here. You ain't here. Shut up. You ain't here.
You
ain't here.
You moved to the other side of the country. Shut up.
Right. Get out of here. I don't wear that shit at all.
How could you? Shut up. Shut up. All right. That is.
I didn't complain when I had to go downtown for my trial.
Yeah. You didn't complain so much that you moved to fucking California to get away from it. Get out of here. Get out.
This is true.
Y'all
And I will gladly
jury duty.
serve surgery duty here too.
Yeah, it's probably on a beach.
It's probably on a.
God, I hope so.
Come as you are with your Batman tank top on. Oh, yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Actually, I probably would. And honestly, I would need the ocean to relieve stress from having to decide someone's fate. So
from having to condemn another black man, you would go to the ocean to feel a sense of euphoria after condemning a black man because you hate black dudes.
It's true. It's true.
Why do you hate us?
No, as I said last week, I don't hate black men. I just hate the two of you. And then
okay, that's fair. That's fair. That's fair. That's fair. All right, that is it for a preview episode for episode 219. Make sure you go back and check out episode 218, Lakeview Terrace, which was quite a fun and ridiculous episode.
Wait, shout out to the person, because I did read some of the YouTube comments. Shout out to the person who agreed with me on Billy Brown. Yes, he's super fine.
Yeah, all right. Like I wrote to her, y'all two both need to relax. It's taking down a notch.
That man is 51. Yes.
Is he still 51? I thought he was 51 back when he was banging Annalise.
No, he was in his 40s. That man is a sturdy, fine 50.
Yo, don't call a man sturdy.
Yo, stop calling men sturdy.
Yo, they're not scaffolding, yo. Like it's not acceptable, yo.
That's a little too. That's a little too
close
close to call him
because he's all built and muscular. And
you know who's sturdy. You know who's sturdy. Horses are sturdy. Stop calling men horses. Get the fuck out of here.
You know, there's another.
All right, you know what? Good night, everybody. Good night.
See? That's called a setup. And then you knock it out of the park.
All right, I think you've been on this show too long. We need to find a new third wheel. Like, all right, she started to get too compatible. Like, nah, get out of here. All right, that is it for preview episode for episode 219. Episode 219 will be up next week, where we will go in depth on Master, which again is on Amazon Prime, starring Regina Hall. So check that out, and we will see you guys next time.
See you.
Bye.
You're watching the Black on Black Cinema YouTube channel. Make sure you check out our full reviews of black movies, past and present. And every other week, we do a preview episode where we talk about a random topic that affects the black community.